Hi, today I want to talk about the loneliness that creeps in when you see through the roles that others are playing, that others are still living inside. So you might be going to spiritual satsangs or be part of communities, attending spiritual seminars where there's a teacher and there are students, and you're one of them. And slowly but surely, you find yourself outgrowing that structure, that hierarchy of the teacher student dynamic or the student student peer dynamic. It's not that somebody is doing anything wrong, they're just being themselves. But once you see through the roles that others are playing, you're unable to talk about it or explain it unless you want to be misunderstood or judged as superior or disconnected. So you become silent, and that silence can sometimes feel lonely. But you see, that silence, that loneliness in itself is the process of integration, where old familiar frameworks and structures that you used to depend on for your peace of mind no longer hold any sway on you, no longer carry any weight. You're free of all of that. Sometimes integration can look like losing your sense of belonging. At first, you felt like you didn't belong in the quote unquote worldly world, the normal world, with the non spiritual, so called non spiritual people who didn't get you or understand what you were about, what the spiritual path was about. And you found yourself at odds with them. You found yourself lonely and isolated. Then you found your own spiritual community. And finally, that loneliness started to fade away because now you could finally bond with people, like minded people who understood you, who you could connect with on mutual interests. But now that's no longer there. All you see is a role, all you see is the mind. Nothing wrong with that. It's totally fine. Losing your sense of belonging in a group that used to make you feel like you belonged is part of spiritual growth, as painful as that sounds. Losing the reference point you had once of the teacher student dynamic or your community, sangha, peer to peer relationships, is also part of integration, is also part of spiritual growth. Now, this change is not permanent, you know. You might find yourself in a different set of circumstances with a completely new group of people, spiritual or not. Yet what happens is your attention gets pulled away from these social situations and you become totally internalized with your peace. You do not depend on a group, the teacher, or the spiritual community for your peace of mind. After all, it is within, not without. Your own presence, your being, your consciousness. The teacher, the group, the community is an appearance in the field. That is you, untouched, unaffected witness of phenomenality. So this is not something people usually talk about. And I thought I'd bring it up. If you feel like your spiritual community is losing its charm on you, don't worry. You're on the right path. Just be and let whatever is supposed to happen through you. The spiritual journey is one of surrender, and this is just one of the learning curves that we have to go through. So I hope that helped. I wish you well. May God be with you. ये था